Repetition is important, but you have to make sure you keep it interesting to keep children's attention engaged. I'm going to demonstrate some different state changes or different ways that you can practice reading big books, reading poems, counting, doing word wall words, anything that takes a lot of repetition. Now, if you go to my website, drjean.org, and click on free activities and scroll to the bottom, you can download these little fluency cards with the different styles of reading and practicing some of these skills. And what I suggest you do is download these on cardstock and then get a little box and write voice box on it. Put these in here, and then I would let 3 or 4 children choose a card, and then you could practice doing some of your things with the styles that they chose. So I'll demonstrate these with Humpty Dumpty. First one I'm going to do is 3 Bear style, so we would say it like Papa Bear.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
And then we could do it Mama Bear style. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Baby Bear style. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Granny Bear style.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall.
Now, a good thing to do would be to have the children track the words as you're doing some of these activities so you get the visual and auditory going to the brain at the same time. Another way that you can practice your rereads is with different emotions. So we could read Humpty Dumpty happy. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Or we could read it sad.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
Or we could read it mad.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall.
Or we could read it scared. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. And then we could let the children choose which voice works best for that particular text. Another way children like to read is underwater. So if you put your pointer finger between your lips, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Or you can read it with a cold. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Or you could read it rainbow style. Put your hands over to one side. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And I really like that rainbow style because you get that left-right crossing the midline and then the left-right reverse sweep, which is so important to reading. You also get that with typewriter style. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Bing, shoo. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Bing, shoo. Now, I know the kids don't know anything about a typewriter or the carriage going bing, but they don't care. It's just fun to do it. Now, here are some other ones that are fun. You can do rock and roll style with your guitars. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Or you could do rap style. And I always let the children show me how to do that one because I tell them, no, I'm not very cool. You could do opera style. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. You could do the royal style like kings and queens, and you could put your crowns on. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. You could do it like a news reporter. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. You could read it like a pirate. You have to put your patch on for this one.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall.
You could do it alien style. Put your antenna over your head. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Now, you're also doing phonological awareness with that, aren't you? And you could clap it. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. You could snap it. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. You could dance it. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. You can use lots of different motions to get that rhythm going. Sometimes you might want to read very slowly. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Or you could read it fast. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. You could lip sync it. Or you could do it with an animal voice. Roof, 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 roof. Meow, 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 meow. Here are some other strategies you can use for your rereads. Of course, you can do choral reading where you all read together, or you could divide the group up into several smaller groups, and each group takes a turn reading a different verse or a different line. You could do shadow reading. That is where the teacher reads and follows the finger under the words, and then the children echo or shadow what the teacher reads and repeat it again. Another thing that you can do is a fun game called Say What? And this is where the teacher reads it wrong, and when the children catch the teacher reading it wrong, they say, "So what?" And then the teacher says, "Well, why don't you read it again?" I'll show you. Humpty Dumpty sat on a sofa. Say what? Well, you boys and girls read it the right way. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. You can also read and leave out a word. Humpty Dumpty sat on a. Humpty Dumpty had a great. You might want to choose a magic word. That's where you find one of your words on the word wall, and every time you come to the magic word, instead of reading it, the children get to clap their hands, jump up, snap their fingers, and make another silly motion. Here are just a few other state changes or ways that you can wake up the brain. One thing that the children love to do is sit like a boss. They get to lean back in their chairs. They get to put their feet up on the table. They get to cross their arms, and they get to sit like a boss and read. You can also do cowboy style. That's where the children turn their chairs around and straddle their chairs. When you come to a capital letter, you stand up. And when you come to punctuation at the end, you sit down. So, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. You can also let the children change seats. You can lower the lights in the classroom. You can let them get down on the floor and lay on their tummies and do tummy reading. You could give them gum to chew. As strange as that seems, chewing gum kind of reconstricts the blood vessels and sends blood to the brain, and that might be a different thing to do someday. Like I said, you could use these different styles with rereads. You could use them with going over word wall words. You could use them with counting. For example, you could count from 1 to 10 happy, from 11 to 20 sad, from 20 to 30 opera style, and just switch it up like that. So I hope you have a lot of fun trying these things out, and maybe you could even let your children vote on their favorite one. Goodbye.